Everybody doing this morning? As you know, I'm Joe Dye with the baseball team. I'm a fifth-year senior here at Stetson, so my journey might be a little bit different than some of you guys, and I might have a little more experience about what it means to be a Hatter. But that question, although I've been here, this is my fifth year, the question's very tough, as you've seen from all my fellow athletes. Everyone has a different answer when asked this question. For me, being a Stetson Hatter is more than being just a student. It's more than being just an athlete. It's more about being a member of a community, a very diverse community with people from all over the world. Liam from Australia, JJ from England, just to name a few athletes. But you'll see in your classrooms that everyone's different. And through that, everyone's going to have a different meaning of what it means to be a Stetson Hatter. For me, coming here as a freshman, I took a chance on baseball. I wasn't a recruited athlete. I wasn't a scholarship athlete or anything like that. I came here first for the academics, and then later was given the opportunity to play for the Stetson baseball team. Through that opportunity, I turned that into a greater opportunity to play in front of 10,000 people in Columbia, South Carolina during a regional against what was soon to be the national champions of the NCAA. For me, a Stetson Hatter is just being granted those opportunities to share with your teammates, to share with the fans, to share with the community, and that's what it means to me to be a Stetson Hatter. Through your time here, you'll grow to like the community, you'll grow to get accustomed to seeing faces, you'll have friends, both in the classroom, both in your dorms, but also in the administration. And for me, the most important thing that I've gathered is my relationships with both my professors, my coaches, and with administration that I will use in the future to have jobs and eventually a career. My name is Joe Dye. I am a Stetson Hatter.
If you asked me in high school if I expected to compete as an athlete in the Division I level at Stetson University, my answer would have definitely been no. I never expected to be an athlete in college, and I never really planned on being a Hatter. My journey to becoming a Hatter began many years ago. My dad actually attended school here in the early 80s and played baseball, and he ended up falling in love with DeLand and stayed after graduation. He coached for baseball for Stetson and as a grad assistant, and he eventually moved on to coach at DeLand High. Needless to say, I grew up here in DeLand with a lot of time spent on and around Stetson's campus. My family took me to Stetson baseball games ever since I can remember. I had piano recitals in Elizabeth Hall, and as you can see, my experiences as a Hatter began very young. Through high school, Stetson was always somehow a part of my life. Everything from using the Stetson library for research projects to attending band concerts, I was very familiar with the campus. Of course, my dad wanted to be a Stetson Hatter, and he wanted me to attend Stetson and have the same wonderful undergrad that he experienced. I applied, but I was skeptical because, like most 18-year-olds, I wanted to get further away than 15 minutes from my parents. Obviously, I chose Stetson, and I've never regretted it. Living on campus helped me gain some independence and gave me a completely different experience of what Stetson was all about. As I said earlier, I never had any intention of becoming an athlete. I never participated in sports in high school, but I would later learn that my participation in athletics was what would make me the most proud of Stetson and the most proud to be a Hatter. During freshman orientation, a 6'4" member of the crew team approached me and said that I should try out for crew due to my height. At this point, I'm not even sure that I knew what rowing was, and I also couldn't run 2 miles without thinking that I might die. For whatever reason, I showed up to the meeting and decided it was something I wanted to try. I walked onto the rowing team with absolutely no idea what I was doing, and during those first few weeks of conditioning on rink or field, I questioned my decision multiple times. But after my first time in the boat, I was sold. I fell in love with the sport. Rowing is not something that I would call fun. It hurts and it's very frustrating because there's never a perfect stroke. But the adrenaline rush you get as you walk through another boat and come in first place is something that I cannot even begin to describe. My sophomore year, I competed at the state championship in a double with Caitlin Mooney. We won the state championship by over a minute and a half. That's a really long time in rowing because our races are only 7 minutes long. This is one of the biggest moments in which I was so very proud to be a Hatter. We'd won a state championship for Stetson, it'd be added to the banner here in the Edmond Center, and I felt as though I contributed something huge to Stetson. The next year, we again took gold, and we won the state championship, and I've had many other successful races. But at that moment, my sophomore year, I realized what it was to be a Hatter. For me, it was contributing athletically through rowing, but for you, it might mean contributing academically and developing new research. It might mean contributing through music, but whatever way you choose to contribute, remember it. Because those times when classes pile up and we have way too much to do, it helps to just step back and remember why we were here in the first place. My name is Callie Peacock, and I'm a Hatter. Go Hatters!
I don't have a cool accent. I'm not that tall. and I don't have any spandex, but I'll tell you what it means to be a Hatter. I'm Patrick Cohn, as you heard. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm a political science major. About 2 years ago, I was a senior, and as a senior, I was just praying all the time that God would lead me to the right school. Wasn't sure what that school was going to be. Thought it was going to be University of Florida. It didn't get accepted, so that was out of the question. Well, God led me to Stetson, and I'm very glad He did. To be a Hatter is to be part of a family. Our freshman seminar class was led by Dr. Epley. If any of you guys get a chance to meet him, he's really cool. And that was my first chance to really feel part of the Stetson family. He and I talk all the time. Anytime I'm near Davis Hall, I check up on him, and he checks up on me. It's just a great experience being able to talk to my professor. Also, if you guys see me, it's probably in the commons, because as football players, all you do is eat if you're not lifting or studying. So in the commons all the time, the next family that I have at Stetson is the people that serve us. All the time they're asking, how's football going? Miss Irene is awesome. I don't know if you've ever met her. She served here for over like 50 years or something. The whole family just grows, as you can tell. And then last but not least, I have my football family. As of last year, there was only 3 or 4 of us, and the family was very small. Then out of nowhere, there was about 100 or some odd guys that came on campus, and my family grew a little bit larger. Now, I'm telling you right now that we're a family, and that's true. But you have to join a family sometimes and be adopted. So don't be afraid to be adopted into the family, especially with football. I like to have a shout out to my coaches, Coach Hughes and Coach Bacon and everybody else, but especially them, because they're the ones I've gotten to interact with the most. But join into the family. I'm thankful every day that to my Lord that I get to be here, and I just hope that you guys join the family as well. My name is Patrick Cohn. I'm a Stetson Hatter. Go Hatters.